What's happening? It's Christian Supreme, and I hope y'all have a blessed, amazing day. I know I am, my friends, and welcome to another conversation with Christian. I got my boy Matt Moore here from the UK with Open Media One on Telegram, and my friends. Basically, when we all got kicked off of Twitter and Facebook and everything like this, we all came to Telegram. And in my opinion, that was a huge mistake because then we started hooking up with people, like-minded people from around the world. And y'all seen last week with Carrie Stellar. And this is another one of my amazing brothers now, Matt Moore from the UK. And my friends, the things that he's doing and the things that I'm doing are almost exactly the same. Right? It's like exactly the same. The thoughts that he has, the thoughts that I have are like the way like-minded people are being attracted to each other right now. It's only can come from a higher power, right? But my friends, let me introduce you to my good friend, my brother, Matt Moore. What's happening, my brother?
How you doing, bro? Really, really pleased to be on the show, and thank you so much for that fantastic intro. And you summed it up, but that's exactly as it is. So similar, so many similar things with you and me. So really, really, I'm glad that they chucked everybody off Twitter and we all came on Telegram. I'm very, very glad about that. But really appreciate being on your show, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you being here, my brother. And yeah, they definitely messed up because I wasn't even following you on Twitter. You wasn't following me on Twitter. We didn't even
Nope.
know each other. And then all of a sudden on Telegram, we hook up and we ended up basically finding the exact person that we are across the world. It's literally like that. Like it seems like we have almost the same thoughts. We're involved with different things in sports. We're involved with different things in the finances that we say, and we do like the same stuff. It's wild. But my friends, this is the deal, right? We need to realize no matter where we're from, no matter who we are, no matter what color we are all the same, right? We have way more similarities than differences. And when we realize that and we start looking at those similarities and looking at what we agree with, agree on, there's going to be times we have to agree to disagree. And we used to be able to do that and still get along and work together. But now they've convinced us if we don't agree on every single thing, right? If we don't agree on every single thing, that we can't get along. But to me, that's nonsense. And it is definitely nonsense, right? We need to focus on what we agree on, continue to get along, and continue to move humanity forward on those principles, right? What's your thoughts on that, Matt?
Oh, bro, I'm exactly the same way. I mean, on my channel at Open Media One on Telegram, there's so much stuff I put out about the way that everything's been planned, the way that they split us all up on purpose. I mean, I was fortunate. I came from an area where it was pretty mixed, and I grew up and everyone didn't have a lot of money, so everyone was kind of the same, and no matter what color you was, and to see the world as it is now, all these years later, it's crazy, and it's the same group of people that keep doing it. It's these globalists and the people that are running things. They do it on purpose to keep people separated. And I agree with you 100%. We need to come together as humanity. We absolutely do. Because otherwise, if we don't, this is just gonna keep happening again and again. And we don't have a problem with each other. I've got no problem with any other human. Genuinely, I don't. I really like most of the humans on this planet, and all of this stuff that we see in the media, all of this, it's literally pushing things into people's minds. It's coercing your thoughts without you realizing it. It's constant. It's from the selfie kind of picture images that come on, and it just puts images in your head all the time. And the whole rhetoric to do with this the way they've divided us, not just on race but on lots of issues. It's divide and conquer. There's no other way of me saying it. It's divide and conquer in the human race, and I'm with you all the way on it. That we've got to come together. We absolutely must.
Right. I mean, you said something before we jumped on here, and you know, the globalists are not racist. They hate humanity. And if they are racist, they're racist against all of us, right? They're racist against all of us. They hate God's children. They hate us because we are creators, and they are working for the evil one. So only they can't create, right? But my friends, as I said, and as Matt just said, when we come together, we can take out the small so-called elite globalists that have been running our world and separating us. The only way they can win is if they divide and conquer us, right? That's the only way that they can win. But when we get past that and unite, then my friends, we, the people of this country and of the world, not even of one country, we, the people of the world, will take our world back. And we will live the prosperous life that God put us on this earth to live, my friends. But, talking about separating, even these face diapers, right? The Fauci diapers or whatever you want to call them, that's division, right? That was more division. And it was to hurt you, to actually hurt you. But you had people, that would wear them and wouldn't wear them. And then the people that didn't wear them were upset with the people that would wear them, the people that wouldn't, or the people that wouldn't wear them, the people that wouldn't wear them. Like myself, I would just try to open people's eyes about them. I didn't not like them, but there were some people that were, if you didn't wear the mask, but you seen other people wearing the mask, you would talk all kinds of craziness about them. I just wanted to help people understand what was going on. But what's your thoughts on that, man? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, for me, I mean, you've seen it on my channel as well. I'm very clear on this. The bottom line for me, before I even looked into, listen, I'll go back a little bit here. For the first few weeks of this whole nonsense, when it kicked off, I was all in helping humanity. I applied for jobs. I applied for volunteer jobs. I did everything because I thought, this is the big one. This is it. We've got a problem as a race here, as humanity. So we need to all come together. I didn't get any jobs, didn't anything like that. It was all chaotic. And then after about 3 weeks, my brain started looking at what else I could do to help. So I'm good with data. I'm good with things like that. So I was looking at all the different anomalies to do with this. Then after about 3, 4, 5 weeks, that's when I started thinking, where's all the dead bodies? So I was looking around and I'd seen all the 50 to 100 million could die news reports. I'd seen all the China pictures and people, they did it. They put it all over the news. People just lying there in the street and doors being booted off. And I thought, this isn't what they're telling us. So I started tracking it from that point of view. So all through last year through Twitter, I mean, we were getting banned left, right and center, as you know, like all of us, for just posting facts and things like that.
Right.
So that all went on last year. Obviously, to me, it just seems like a complete and utter scam. It really, really does. And when you look at it, you can't point to it any other way. But so what I've done is in January, I decided to set up an info channel, use all my business skills, all skills possible to try and help get the message out there for what's actually going on. And when you look at it, my view on it's simple. We're talking about trusting people here who are giving us information, who have 100% track record, Christian, of lying to us. They really do. Some of the same people that have lied on huge things where people have died are now on TV, especially in the UK, telling us to take the vaccine. I mean, it's not just a UK thing. It was a world thing, the weapons of mass destruction. That's huge. These governments all got together and lied. They tortured somebody to get a confession. On the basis of that confession, they went to war and killed thousands of people. And these same groups of people are giving us this new information and we're expected to believe it. And that's not the only thing. I mean, they have 100% track record of lying throughout my whole entire life. So even before you looked at the fact there's no dead bodies, there's never nothing what they've told us. These are the same people that have lied about some huge things that have killed thousands of people already. You've got phone hacking scandals. You've got the 2.3 trillion lost from the Pentagon. They told you the day before 9/11. I mean, these are the big things. And then you've got the day-to-day expenses, scamming, and all the things that they do. The politicians becoming millionaires. I mean, I trust none of them, not any globalist, not any leader, not any mainstream media. You know this. And for good reason. They've all got 100% track record of lying. So for me, masks are a no-no. Masks are a no-no. The whole thing's a no-no. That's
Right.
what I think.
Right. Well, the thing is about the face diaper, just think about, going to the doctor before all this happened, right? Before all this happened, when you went to the doctor, you could have been sick as a dog. You could have had the worst sickness ever. They didn't walk in with a mask on. They only wear masks when they are performing surgery so they don't spit and drool in the open wound while they're sitting there with their head down working for 4 to 8 hours at a time, most of the times when they're performing surgery.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they would never put a mask on when they walk in and you're sick is because they don't want your germs to land on that mask, and then they're breathing it in and out, incubating the sickness. That's the deal, my friends. Just think about that. But to hit on another point that you said, back when I was younger, about as far as all the politicians lying, they've lied to us all our life. I always heard when I was younger, you can't trust a politician, right? Throughout all my life, you can't trust a politician. You can't trust a politician. And the thing is, and I don't really want to bring, President Trump up too much, but the main reason why I voted for him is because he wasn't a politician and he was a businessman, because I've been told all my life that we couldn't trust politicians. But now, somehow, some way, which they say they convinced, but it's a very small amount of people that they convinced, but they convinced people that you can not trust a businessman, but trust politicians now. Like, everything's getting reversed. Everything's going backwards. Everything's getting crazier by the day, right? And if you can't discern the facts, and if you can't take the time to do your own research, and that's another thing, a lot of people here do your own research and they think back to school to where they're gonna have to do research papers for days and days and hours. A lot of this stuff you can research in 5 or 10 minutes. You have a phone with DuckDuckGo, Google, or whatever the heck you want. I would suggest DuckDuckGo, right? But it only takes 5 or 10 minutes to collaborate some of this stuff that they're saying. I mean, look what's coming out now, right? I don't know if you've heard this, but now there's an IG report. Do you remember when President Trump walked to the church and they said that they made him, like, because he was walking there, they dispersed everybody and they put tear gas everywhere so he could go walk to the church. I think it was over last summer. Well, now that's debunked. They dispersed everybody for other reasons because they were messing with the construction workers that were putting the fence up. This is from the IG report.
I read that. I actually read that the other day. I read that and I thought, there's another lie that they've just been found out about. Just another lie. Right. And right now it's the opposite in the media. I mean, to be fair, over in the UK, we are getting a lot of stories about Biden now being a bumbling idiot, and a bit more stories like that. Are hitting mainstream. So I don't know whether they're trying to do a switch and they're looking to get rid of him or something. I don't know. But when I see mainstream clips here, because I don't watch it, or someone will show me something, sometimes there's quite a few that pop out where they're showing Biden to be a dummy. And that wasn't like the same for the election. Obviously, before the election, it was just Biden's this and Biden's that and Trump's an idiot. And you could tell right then that the media were corrupt. And then obviously since then, we know that they were, because Project Veritas, they did the expose on the CNN executive. Awesome. Obviously, they found out about him. He admitted it. He said they're going to use climate change propaganda like they did for the elections. And you're like, wow. So not only have you admitted that you used it for the elections, and more than likely all the other media companies would, because they're all really in it together, but now you're also admitting that you're going to use climate change propaganda. So that means that's not real either.
Right.
So we're like, well, what a year of knowing stuff. I mean, when we look at it from that point of view, Christian, there's a lot of knowledge that has come out. Like when you just look, and you said it takes 2 to 5 minutes. It really does to start it. Just have a look into this stuff, because this isn't people, silly people making up stuff. This is actual facts. And we all try to do it on Telegram. We try to give the actual facts we do. We support so many groups, and there's a way of putting stuff, and a lot of us are doing it in the same way the media do, but we're sharing the facts. And this is why they're all over Telegram, and this is why they shut down other places, because people were starting to wise up, and that hasn't stopped. We're still wising up right now, but obviously the media are all over this big push to make people take a shot and make them be scared and in fear. And it's right. The extremes as well. It's the extremes. What they do is they try and push you from one to the other. Sorry, I'm skipping right into a few things here.
No, you're good.
With the extreme side of things, they want to push you to the extreme. So you say, no, let's get rid of all this and let's get rid of all that. And they're the problem with the system. The system would be fine if people who were running it were good. It's that simple. It would be a lot better. It would be a lot better than it is now. And what they're trying to do is make you think the system's broke. So, the next one will be all rich people are bad. And everyone will be like, oh, rich people are bad. You can kind of guess where they're,
right. Where they're. I mean, you can pretty much guess where they're going. Yeah.
Yeah. And every time they highlight somebody, it's the globalists that hide behind the bushes and come out the other side all right every time. I mean, we know it. And the media are all in on it. The leaders, you can tell. Otherwise, this COVID nonsense would have been over by now. It's that simple.
Exactly.
And all the other stuff would have been out, because let's not get too deep about everything that's gone on, but talk about the things we know about, all the corruption, all the politicians that have become rich since they've been in everything we've talked about here, the weapons of mass destruction. Come on, I mean, right. If people can't see this, then I don't know what's happened. I don't know how right. They can't. I mean, I know people in family, friends that can't see this, and it does baffle me sometimes, that, but I've made my peace, and I said it out to the universe and, whatnot. And, it is what it is, but we still carry on trying to share this. But hopefully it does become critical mass thinking, or critical mass where everyone's thinking it rather, because we do need it. We do need it, bro. Sorry, I'll shut up now.
No, that's good. I believe that's coming, but I want to touch on a couple of things that you just talked about. As far as a lie, right? Climate change. It didn't start off as being called climate change. It was global warming, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was called global warming. And then once they couldn't convince us that it was warming, because it started getting colder in different areas and it started being cooler here. I mean, the thing is, they still calling it global warming. We would have all laughed at them with the things that happened in Texas, which I think that could have been a weapon as well. But the things that happened in Texas this year, the things that, dude, like, I mean, I help people. I'm not a full-time, but I help people with air conditioning work here. It's June in Louisiana, in the United States. Normally in May, it starts getting to be in the 90s and everybody's calling for air conditioning. It's the middle of June and it just got into the 90s, right? So they had to change it to climate change, right? But here's the deal, my friends. Doesn't the climate change 4 times a year?
Yeah.
When we have 4 seasons, and every season in the year, the climate changes. So what are you convinced that's going to happen to? I mean, it's the most ignorant. That is the most ignorant thing I've never understood it. Like how anybody could be worried about that. I mean, other than the fact that they're teaching this nonsense in the schools, I guess. But if you're a logical person, right, they're calling something climate change. All you got to do is be like, wait, doesn't the climate change 4 times a year? Right. But what else was it that you touched on? Oh, about everybody coming together. See, here's the thing, and you also mentioned, you got a couple of family members and friends that are still, convinced with this. Well, what I'm starting to feel and what I'm starting to be led to do on situations like that is let's start looking for what we do agree on, right? Don't even worry about what the lies and this, that, and the other thing. Focus on what we do agree on. And if you're a good human being and you're just manipulated, You're going to want to help move humanity forward. You're going to want to spread love to people. You're going to want to do this, that, and the other thing. And then you start saying, okay, now we agree on this. How can we work together to move humanity forward that way? And that's the thing. That's what we have to do as well. One of the biggest things that's going on in this world right now is that everybody wants to be right. That everybody wants to be right. And the thing is, I'm tired of trying to be right. I don't care to be right. I want to get along, right? We need to get along and come together, or whoever's right is right and whoever's wrong is wrong. And guess what that is? More division, right? So let's just focus. If you can't come together on politics or policies, don't worry about that. Put that to the side. 5-6 years ago, nobody cared about that. Nobody cared what political party you were a part of 5 or 6 years ago. Before President Trump ran, nobody cared. We all got along. You might have been a Democrat, I was a Republican. Most people didn't even know. You didn't even know. But we need to put all that aside and focus on what we do have in common and what goals we have in common and work together on those. Right? I mean, that's where I'm coming from.
Definitely. You said some good points there as well when you were I've kind of done what you just said there naturally with the people in my family that are still believing all this. We just don't talk about it. It's the weirdest thing. Like, we only talk about, like, very rarely we will. We'll talk about everything else, like when we're meeting up, holiday, like all sorts of other things. And that's been in the last 2-3 weeks. That has, and it seems a lot more peaceful because they're not going to convince me, and I'm not going to convince them at this stage, obviously. But I will say this: they all kind of listen to me because they're like, this guy's very logical and he's not backing down on this. So, you know, so that's working, but they still believe what they believe, but we just don't talk about it. Like, right. And it's peaceful. And we talk about other things like, you know, and issues. You talk about other issues that are going on in the country. I mean, we've still got politicians that are in that take COVID out of it. There's still got all the other stuff that was going on in politics. Do you know what I mean? The day-to-day stuff. I think, is this person doing good for this town? Is this? But so there's a bunch of things you can still talk about. But I like what you said there, because that's spot on advice, because that's happened to me with a couple of people. And I'm gonna now you've said that, I'm gonna use it with the rest of my family members. That's what I'm gonna do.
If we're the ones who show that love, right, and say, look, I'm tired of arguing with you. I just want to get along like we used to, right? That there is going to end up opening their hearts a little bit, right? It's going to end up opening their hearts, and eventually they're going to listen, right? But even if they don't, who cares? Just get along. As long as you're not doing anything stupid. Right now, if they're doing evil stuff and they're doing all the craziness, then obviously, right? But if they're just your family and friends and they have wacky beliefs, show them the love, right?
You said,
and watch them come around, even if it takes a few years. But we can still work together to move humanity forward. And that's what we were put here to do, was to help each other and move humanity forward. Another big thing that they did to us, right, was we want everything. We want to receive. We want instead of give. But we have a giving spirit. We were put here to move people forward. We were put here to give our love and efforts to help grow this world and our countries and humanity, right? So if we start focusing on that with them, then I believe that it really doesn't matter either which way what their actual political beliefs are, because if we're working to move humanity forward, it really doesn't matter. And they will come around.
I believe you. I think the way you said it as well, sorry to cut you up a minute ago, but you just said it. It was this perfect line. I just want to get along like we used to.
Right.
That's awesome. That's that's how we all want to be. I mean, this COVID thing, it has messed things up because people were protesting against the globalists. I know I talk about them a lot, but they were protesting against the globalists, all colours, all races, and all that's been messed up. But what else has been messed up and mixed up is the fact that, just like you say, people are now having intense divisions within family units, friendship units, relationships, all because of more stuff that's going on with the globalists. Which political party you're with? I mean, you nailed it. 5-6 years ago, nobody cared. Not really. No, everyone was just getting on with their lives. And so many times, we've talked about this on the phone quite a lot. I mean, we're the exact same age. So, there's been times in our lives when people just stopped. It's not that they didn't care. They cared about each other, but they didn't care about all the nonsense, the government stuff. Do you know what I mean? They just got on and had joy, and everyone was pretty cool with each other, so
for the most part.
I like that. Let's just get on like we used to get on. I love that. That's a really good line. I like that.
And I mean, I don't know, just when you're out in when you're out and about, just bless people, just say, hey, how you doing today? I hope you have a blessed day as you walk by them in the store and things like this. And you start talking more and more to outside people and just making them smile. You will feel good, I promise, but that's moving humanity forward. And eventually we will see who we are and what we were put here to do. And I think that's coming very soon. I think there is things happening right now that are waking people up daily. I mean, there's people waking up every single day to the nonsense, right? But I believe pretty soon that there's going to be a time to where that you're either going to have to choose good or choose evil, right? And it's going to be, I believe it's coming soon. And it's going to be your choice on if you want to go on the good side or the evil side. But I promise you this, my friends, there is way, way, way more good in this world than there is evil.
100%. And I tell you, I've seen that, Christian, over the last 5-6 months. I mean, remember that segment I did on the channel? It was to, sorry, I didn't mean to rock that. It was the good people doing good things. And I could have kept that going for months and months. People were sending me messages going, look at this group here, helping these people, and it was like, wow. There was so much good going on. And like, this was all over the world. People were sending this stuff into me, and you turn your TV on, just doesn't show that. It doesn't show that. That's awesome what you said there, because there is far much good. Because you know what? If there wasn't, there wouldn't be this much of a battle to make it bad.
Right.
That's the truth.
I mean, this is the thing. And I don't know why this just came in my mind, but go back to the George Floyd situation.
Mm-hmm.
The day it happened, for about a day and a half, we could have used that to unite every single person, no matter what it was. Immediately when I seen that incident, I immediately went and posted on every social media outlet that I have that cop should be in jail. Now, we didn't see the whole situation, but you standing on top, right? Everybody that I seen talk about the situation, no matter what color they were, no matter whatever, was against what happened to George Floyd. Was 100% against it. White, black, blue, green, Chinese, Japanese, everybody was against it. But instead, they used it to divide us instead of to bring us together. We could have easily came together on that fact that every single person that seen that video was saying that cop did wrong. But instead, they divided us. They used it to say, oh, the white man is bad and we're going to take it.
I think it could have been George Floyd. It could have been that they were looking for somebody purposefully.
Exactly.
Next person that got killed, who was black by the police, they were going to use it as a poster, and they did. And you're so right. That could have been the thing where we go, right, enough's enough now. Let's stop these people that are running the system, because it's their fault that it is. They're creating it this way. We could have all come together and gone, right, let's make the changes we need. Let's get the bad people out of the system and let's get good people in the system. But no, we didn't. Instead, it became this thing. And it didn't work. It didn't work as well as they wanted it to. They wanted that to spread worldwide. And people, people just were like, no, we're not having it. I mean, it's not, they're doing that race baiting. They do it all the time.
Right.
They pull the heartstrings. And you're talking about the same people that don't care. They don't care about any of us. That's your bottom line. You have to go, who are these? First of all, you have to go, who are these people sending these messages? Who are these companies and these groups that are behind this? What's their motivation? What's their track record? You look into it, you go, well, hold on a minute. They've done nothing to help the problems that they're now saying that, in fact, they've done more to harm them. Some of these big companies, you saw the Ricky Gervais speech at the Golden Globes when he was saying about Apple and Google. It's true. Like these companies, all these big companies are pretending, and it's pretending to be for this movement. And, they're so against humanity when you look at it. I mean, it's ridiculous, and they just use it. They don't. None of these people want to solve any of the problems, because if they did, they'd be focusing on getting the bad people out of the system, the people that are running it now, the bankers, the leaders, the globalists, the media. Sorry to bang on about it, but it really does. Most problems stem back to those people.
They all do. I mean, every single one of them do. And I mean, and I'm not. This is the core. Right. What I'm about to say is the core of Black Lives Matter. The people, the foundation, not all the people because I believe Black Lives Matter. Right. I believe all lives matter. I actually believe the saying Black Lives Matter is racist itself, because we should not have to be told that in 2021. That should be already a situation. Right. Like every life matters. There shouldn't be told that one certain race lives matter, but that's here nor there. But then the founders are admitted Marxists, and if you go read Karl Marx, they use projection. When you're a Marxist, that's one of the biggest strategies is to use projection, which is putting your flaws onto others, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now Patrice, I can't remember her last name, I think Colors or whatever, she's gone. She left Black Lives Matter because she bought 5 houses.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got Breonna Taylor's mom asking, wait, well, y'all used my daughter's name and made all this freaking money. I didn't get a penny. We didn't get help. We aren't helping the kids. We aren't helping this. Like, if this organization, even though I don't love the name, because I feel that we should not have to be told that a certain race or any certain race matters. Mm-hmm. We're all God's children, right? But they could have done the amount of money that was donated to them, the good that they could have done. And instead, could you imagine the good that they could have done with the new you might not know much about it, but the what's it called, the zones, that's not property zones, I can't even think of the freaking word, but
what you mean though, the work zones where they come in and they do all the business,
well, yeah, but there's I can't remember the word, but basically opportunity zones, the opportunity zones, right? Could you imagine the good and the how they could have helped people open small businesses and different things like this with these new opportunity zones? But instead, they went and tore down those neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. And then she's taken the money and bought 5 houses. And dude, don't think that's not big news over here, because it is big news. I've read about that, and we predicted all this last year. All of us, all of us, we were like, these guys are just raising money. They're going to be scamming that money. And here we are a year later, and exactly those things have happened. All the top people had been paid and done that. And we knew this anyway. I mean, at the time, what was it, a year ago now, maybe 10 months, they were showing all the George Soros payments to all these people. And,
right.
And do you know what that does? That damages the actual real solving of the problem. It does, and that's why they do it, because they divert it away from the real problem. Because you're fighting over here, the fire's over there. Look, there's a fire over there. You're not looking at what actually is happening over here, which is we're all being manipulated, every single one of us, by one group of a small, tiny. You said it, a small, tiny part. And with all this is just smoke screens and tricks. And do you know why we know this more? Because we've been in sales and finance and things like that, and you train for these things. You're training on emotions. You're training on, how to pitch something to somebody. So we're watching adverts on TV and politicians speaking, and we're like, oh my God, like naturally you're thinking, that's a pitch. Right. He's actually pitching that. Like that's just basic stuff that they do. And everything else, when it's just been lie after lie after lie, divide after divide. The way, like, I can't believe it that these people, surely something can be done. I mean, they've raised money for what should be like a charitable event. You'd think BLM would be a charity, and then they've gone and bought houses out of it. And like you said, that it's despicable. And we knew that was going to happen. we were all chatting about it on Twitter. Everybody was when before election, and everybody was like, these people are just literally scamming it. Like, and big companies were donating to them as well. Huge companies, they should be brought into question for that as well, because yourself that, I mean, it's a big scam. It's all a big scam. A lot of it is they're just trying to divide us. But those big companies, they play a part in that. They've basically bought her houses for her.
Yeah, and all of her houses are in the middle of so-called white neighborhoods. So
that's the funny
thing. I think that's that in itself, in my opinion, is racist. You're separating, you're dividing, saying, oh, she's in white neighborhoods and she's in. I mean, it shouldn't. That kind of thing should not matter. If it is all white people living in that neighborhood, it still shouldn't be deemed a white neighborhood, because I promise you, if a black person wants to move in there, they can. Like that. It's all freaking division, my friends. It's all division. But like you said, man, the globalists are out to deceive us. Mm-hmm. They trick us
big time,
like Matt just said. And then the fear factor, I mean, they divide us. They want to conquer us by dividing us, and then they want to control us by fear. This two things we talked about: climate change, fear, COVID, fear, even BLM, even the that's fear, dividing by fear, controlling by fear, and when you're living in fear, that means you're motivated by the evil one, right? You're being motivated by something that you shouldn't be motivated by. Because when you're in fear, you're going to look for somebody to save you. And that's what they want. They want us to be in such fear that we're begging, please, please, government, please, globalists, save us. When we got God. Why do we need any man to save us? We've already had one come and save us. And that's all we needed. We don't need these evil people to do anything for us. We need to get rid of them, get them locked up or just out of office, whatever. And we, the people, need to stand up and start taking control of what we want to happen and of our cities, our countries, our lives, whatever it is, right?
You're so right. You're so right. I mean, when you think about it all, they've done every single move has been done on purpose. And, you mentioned, the God's come to save it. And, there's people that don't believe in God, but they also don't believe in the government. So, for those people out there, yeah, right, forget about God for a moment. Think about everything you've witnessed yourself in your life, and if you're not believing the government right now and not wearing a mask, that's a great thing. But these people, like, just look at it from a mathematical point of view, okay? Just for a second. Imagine me saying to you, yeah, right, let's look at it this way. Imagine me saying to you, right, I want you to go and give your last £1,000 or $1,000 to that person over there who's lied 999 times every day of your life. This person has lied, and this one is telling the truth on. That's it. You know, that's it for anyone who believes in universe, angels, God, nothing, atheist, whatever you believe in, Hindu, Muslim, like for real, like this, we are being asked to, but we're not even being asked, we're being forced and pushed to believe these people, these globalists that are racist. They hate God, they hate Allah, they hate everything that we believe. And you know, the biggest thing is they really hate us, because who else would do all this? And the bottom line is 100% track record of lying, cheating, scamming, and killing humanity. This is not, I wish this was a video where, we were doing this as a movie or something like that, but it isn't. This is actual life that's going on right now. And these people have come up with their next lie. And that's how you've got to look at this. It's their next lie. These people, all of them, I would never trust any of them. I never did, but they will not now. And people should be the same. We need them out of the system. You're right, Christian. We need them out. I said it on the channel recently. They're all talking about going to Mars and on rockets. Get on your rockets and just go. Just go. Like, for real, because whatever you guys have to do, you globalists, because we're just not interested anymore. I mean, it is starting to get a bit boring. And I don't mean to be, it is. It's like, just get on and do what you got to do, because it does. I've spoke to you about this. Like, you guys are absolute, you're just little shriveled prune type people. That's how I see it in my brain. And, I will never, ever willingly do what they want me to do. It's that simple.
Exactly.
And that's based on logical, mathematical facts. If I was a newborn person that came here, or a new person to this planet, didn't know anything, and they said, right, these are the facts. These people have lied for all of you. 42 years, these people have lied for, and now they're telling this and they're saying it's not, it's a truth, and it's because of all this, and all this data has happened. But forget that for a minute, where there's no dead bodies and everything. These people are saying the truth again. What would you do? You're a new person to the planet. You'd look at it and you'd go, okay, they've lied every day of my life, 42 years. Of course, it's more than likely going to be a lie again. And on big things, on huge things, on killing people in countries, on torturing them. I mean, my gosh, these people are not good people, man. So if ever anything comes into anyone's head, oh, would they really do that? Yes, the answer is yes. Would they do that? Yes. They lied, went to war, killed thousands of people. Not 50 years ago in Nazi Germany, not 60, just 15 years ago. Actually, 16, 17 years ago. Right. So it's that simple. So that's the line for me, no matter what you believe in. So that should bring everyone together in itself. In fact, maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe that's how we come together. I don't know.
Right. But I mean, it's just about good versus evil, right? However, whatever you believe in, if you're a good person, right? If you're a good person, I'm willing to work with you. I'm willing to let's move humanity forward. I really don't care what you believe in. If you're good and you're working towards things, I will show you. I will show you what happens, and how, building a relationship with God and stuff. But I'm not going to push it on you. You will see it in my life. But we could still work together if you're a good person moving forward. That's the thing, right? You don't have to agree on everything to work with each other, right?
Exactly.
You don't have to have, there's things that me and you don't agree totally on. There's things that me and my boy Eric that I did Black, White, No Difference. There's things that me and him don't totally agree on. But it does not matter. We're out to move humanity forward. So that's what we're going to do together. Right.
Strangest thing is, sorry to cut you up here, but you've just gone all the way back round to where we started with this, and you've nailed it again. That's what they are trying to do. They're trying to stop you and I not being able to talk because we have minor difference of opinion on some things. You and Eric not being able to talk because and that's what they're doing, and they're hyping all that up. They're showing the spotlight on it, and we've just got to keep doing what we're doing. That's what we have. Doing what you just described is how humanity should be,
right? And if we were convinced, if me and Matt were convinced by what these people are perpetrating on us, me and Matt wouldn't be doing this right now. Because like I said, we do have some differences. We do have some things that we don't fully agree on, but that doesn't matter. Like I said before, we've always agreed to disagree and continue being friends, continue working together, continue doing whatever until now. And that's the only way. And they know their time is coming to an end, my friends. And that's why they're going so crazy with everything and going insane trying to push all this nonsense on us. The only way that they can conquer us is if they divide us. And if you just see, all you got to see, they put us in these little boxes. And then the next thing you know, there's a news article saying that this group in this box did something to this group in this box. And now this group's mad at this group and this group's mad at that group. And then this group did something to this group over here. And now this group's mad at this group, but not mad at that group because that group is mad at that group too. So now these two are working together, but they're all mad at this one. And then this one over here says something about this one up here. And now all of them are mad at each other, but some of them are working together, but they're working together to go against the other. Like, that's the thing. That's what they're trying to get us to do. I hope that made sense. But when we get past all of that and focus on our similarities, as I said, and stop worrying about the little things that we don't agree on and the little differences that we have. I mean, me and my brother, who came out of the same mother, are different. We all have little differences. But if we focus on if we focus on our agreements, now, not everybody will you be able to work with, even if you agree on different things. But there's a lot of people out there that want to move humanity forward on both sides of the fence. And when we just start focusing on what we can do to move humanity forward and stop worrying about policies and politics and all this kind of nonsense, our lives are going to become blessed beyond belief, my friends. That's the key. That is the key, is us coming together as God's children or as humanity, however you want to look at it, and working together to continue to move each and every one of us, each and every race, each and every one of us forward. And when I say come together, we don't all have to be one party or one religion or one with anything. We can all be separate. We could be in our separate groups, but come together and work together as humanity because we're all brothers and sisters in Christ. We don't have to all be one religion or all be oneness or from one country. We just work together and believe what we believe on the outside. But there's things that we will agree on. There's no doubt in my mind. If you're working with a good person, you're going to agree on things that you can work on to move humanity forward. I think that's about a wrap, brother.
That is epic. That is epic and totally wonderful. That was spot on. I really, really, really appreciate this and appreciate that you just said there. That was amazing. And it's true. That's how we have to do this going forward. Really, really appreciate that, bro. Really, really do. Thank you so much for letting me come on a conversation with Christian. Thank you. And thank you for those epic, epic words, man. That's exactly what we need to do. Come together. Once we start focusing on that and the way that they have split us up and just come together. You said it. There's little differences. They don't matter. They don't matter. Humanity matters. I love it, man. Christian, thank you so much for this.
Well, thank you, my brother, for coming on with me. And thank you for just being you, bro. And thank you to the globalists or whoever it is, Jack out there, who took us off of Twitter and Facebook and all that kind of thing so I can meet this awesome, amazing dude from overseas who I'd have never probably even ran into if it wasn't for Telegram. But my friends, y'all have a blessed, phenomenal day and realize this now. You have more power than you know. And when you realize that power, you can do anything. And no person in this world is a true victim. You might have had things happen to you, but the way they want us to believe, they want all of us to believe that we are victims, and mainly just due to our skin color. And if you feel that you're a victim, you'll never feel that you'll have success. So get that victim mentality out of your mind and realize that you are great and were created in God's image, and you can do anything in this world, my friends. Y'all be blessed.